Hey, good afternoon, everyone. It's Captain Chandler with your police department. I'm here with Rich, and we have a severe weather threat forecasted for tomorrow. We just want to let you know what we know from the National Weather Service about what to expect, but then also talk about some safety preparedness that you can take at your home just to keep yourself safe tomorrow, should we have severe weather moving through our community. And, we in the Mount Juliet area have experienced severe weather pretty frequently lately with that March tornado back in 2020 and other tornadoes since then. And we don't want to get your anxiety up, and to help lower that anxiety really is just be prepared to have a plan in place. So if those alarms go off, if that bad storm is headed our direction, we can then take efforts to keep you and your family safe and everyone safe as it moves through. So we just hope you are prepared. And we're going to talk about some of those things to be prepared should a storm move through. But here's what we are expecting. Obviously, it's supposed to be very windy tomorrow, even before the severe weather comes in, with gusts up to 45 miles per hour. And for the Nashville metro area, this storm front is supposed to come through between 3 and 6 p.m. And the main threat are straight line winds, but there could be some tornadoes involved in that. And if you look at the map here, we're in the enhanced section of that. Wilson County is just right in that orange, which is the enhanced risk section for the convective outlook. And convective would be, severe storm potential. And for the tornadoes possible, they have us at a 3 out of a 5 scale. They don't expect any hail, and they do expect a lot of gust up to 70 miles per hour. So it's like a 3.5 for that from the Weather Service. And then the timing graphic that you see here, the Clarksville area, Waverly, Waynesboro, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m., Nashville, Columbia, Lafayette, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. That's in the dark blue where we are. And then towards the plateau, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. And I just have some more notes here from the Weather Service is right now they're seeing a fast-moving, quick spin-up tornadoes as well as damaging straight-line winds, or what are expected. The flooding threat is low, no hail threat. And the confidence for tornado really depends on how much instability is in the atmosphere and what those ingredients are present at the time to see if it's possible to have a tornado or not. So if we get a lot of sun during the day, it can destabilize the atmosphere and the chances for tornadoes go up. If it stays cloudy, then the chances of tornadoes go down. But even without tornadoes, there is a potential for straight line winds during the cold front passage as it moves through the area. So I think we're all going to hope for cloudy and no sun for tomorrow. And Rich, let's hear about some tornado safety and what are the warnings and watches and what can we do to keep ourselves safe?
Yeah, Cap, you hit it right on the head too. As much as we like the sun, especially lately, as cold as it's been, I think tomorrow, in this case, we're all kind of hoping for the clouds to keep that temperature down just a little bit.
Absolutely.
But yeah, to kind of go over the safety, to remind everybody of the difference between the watches and the warnings. Watches kind of mean, just be aware. Everybody needs to be weather aware, stay informed, make sure you're tuned into whatever options or outlets you decide to be able to get your warning weather information from. It means conditions are favorable. Things could produce damaging storms or tornadoes. Where the warnings, if those warnings go off and those warnings drop, whether you're outside and you hear the tornado sirens go, or you get the warnings from your phones or your news outlets or whatever it is, the warnings mean the tornadoes and the storms are imminent. You need to take shelter as fast as you can. And that always means in a basement or interior room, and stay close to those weather outlets, whether it's your text messages, your social media, whatever it is. And we'll talk a little more about that here in just a second. Mm-hmm. And of course, the sheltering guidelines, you always want to think of the biggest and most sturdiest structures are the best options. So some of the worst options here are going to always be the mobile homes, vehicles, or under the highway overpasses. Those are never good. For many, many years and decades, people always used to say, if you were on a road, get up under the overpass. That's actually not good because that wind actually accelerates under the overpass. Other options that are a little bit better, but still not great. Large open rooms like gymnasiums, still not a great idea. Manufactured housing, a little bit better options. Interior rooms of a well-constructed home or building, or even better, a basement. Of course, the best options are always manufactured storm shelters. Not everybody's got those. Touching briefly on those, though, in and around our area, especially in the city limits of Mount Juliet. If you have a storm shelter, feel free to reach out to us, call us, email us, let us know so we can get you registered in our system. That way, if we do ever, hopefully we never do, but if we do ever get hit by severe storms and something happens to your home, we know to come look for you in your storm shelter. We'll know where you are, where that shelter is in your property, whether it's above ground, below ground, in your garage, whatever. That way we can absolutely pinpoint where that shelter is at on your property. And then, of course, know where to go in the storm. Think about your house as an onion, or whatever structure you're in as an onion. If that tornado does hit, it's going to peel off those outside layers first. So that's why you always hear go to the interior or the lowest level first. It's the best and safest place, because if that storm hits, it's going to pull those outer layers off first. So go to your interior, lowest room, basement, interior hallway, bathroom, things like that. If you're able to, take your emergency supply kit with you. Have something to cover your head, such as a blanket or a mattress, a bicycle helmet, football helmet, something of that nature. Anything you need to keep your head and your body safe.
Yeah, and Rich, you mentioned, those folks who may live in manufactured housing, mobile homes, or even travel trailers in the area. And you definitely don't want to be in any type of structure like that when this storm comes through, or any type of tornado, because it's really not safe. But some other options I saw listed, you can go to the mall, you can go to a store, go to a restaurant, especially during the timing that it's coming through, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. There, the stores and stuff are open, and just go there for a nice, safe location. And, our city is working on expanding our police headquarters. We don't know for sure if it's going to be a full expansion with the current building, or they're going to build a brand new building near us. But one component of that building is going to be a tornado shelter to allow the community to come in and shelter. And that's something we are hoping for as a community, because we've all experienced tornadoes lately, and we want to be sure people have a safe place to go. And if we can offer a shelter in this community at our police headquarters where community members can come to, I think that's a great thing. And we're working towards that. That's part of the design in this new headquarters, wherever it's an expansion or just a brand new building completely. We don't know exactly just yet, but we want to design that tornado shelter aspect in it. Number one, because we care, and two, we've just seen a lot lately. And Rich is going to show a map shortly that really puts it into perspective about the tornadoes in Wilson County. But go ahead, Rich.
Yeah. And touching on different ways to get your weather alerts and warnings. Of course, the best is always your wireless emergency alerts on your phones. Most smartphones nowadays have those built in automatically. Make sure you leave them turned on. Don't turn them off. Those are great for not just weather alerts, but if we have things like Amber Alerts, anything like that are broadcast through the emergency alert system. Great product built into your phone. Different weather apps, whatever you might like. There's some that are free, some that you pay for. Mobile.weather.gov is another good one to look at. Of course, text and email services. I know we'll talk about our alert service here in just a minute. Various social media outlets, and of course, your family and friends. Keep in touch with your family and friends during emergencies. When things are all clear, try your best to reach out to your family and friends if they're in the area, and have a plan in place for afterwards. Keep in mind, too, that phone systems may be overloaded right after an emergency. Have an out-of-town contact available, because a lot of times you can get a text or a phone call to a family member or a friend out of town easier than you can to somebody locally. So just have that set up with your family ahead of time. Say, I might call Uncle Jack in Texas just to let him know that everybody's okay. Have that set up as a pre-planned thing with your family. And of course, our MJ Alert program is a fantastic program. All you have to do to sign up, just text the letters MJ to 67283. That's MJ to 67283. And it gets you set up for the MJ Alert program. Anytime we get the weather alerts from the National Weather Service, it hits our system, and our system will almost instantaneously send those things out immediately. It's an automatic thing we have set up. And then, of course, anything that we see, Captain or the other members of the admin will send them out as far as ongoing alerts, crashes, things of that nature. It's a really great program.
Yeah, thank you for that, Rich. Let's see that map you have. I think you have an interesting map on there. There you go.
Yeah, this is a really, really neat statistical map that the Weather Service just recently put out. It shows the number of tornadoes in each county from 1950 through October 31st of last year. And if you look at Wilson County right there, where we're located right there, we're actually the second highest number of tornadoes by county in the state of Tennessee. That's a pretty staggering number.
I feel that way lately with all the storms that we've had.
Indeed.
Regardless, Rich, our city cares deeply about this community. I care deeply, and Rich, I know you care deeply about this city, and that's why we do these updates. We just want to keep you informed. We don't want to get your anxiety up, but we know that a good plan in place helps lower that anxiety, and we're hopeful that our community does have a plan in place. Should we have another serious tornado come through, you have that plan in place. You're in your safe place, and then if it hits, you have different supplies that you have packed in your supply bag to keep you safe, and the plan. Your family knows the plan of what to do. Should we be hit with bad weather? But let's take questions. If you have any questions, type those in the comments. I saw a couple through here, and I will be glad to get to it. I saw a little comment here from Anthony that says, "Thank you guys for helping me last night with a flat tire." So, Anthony, I'm glad our staff was able to help you. They do such great work out there all the time. And Lauren here, Rich, has where do you register storm shelters? Do you just want them to email you, Rich?
Yeah, if you just want to shoot me an email, then all I need to know is your address and where on your property, in your house, your garage, whatever, where your storm shelter is, and I'll get that added into our system. It's that simple.
Good deal. Let's see what else we got. Gabriel here. What if you live on a second floor in an apartment building? And my guess is you want to get into an interior room if you're in an apartment. And if your apartment has an enclosed stairwell in the interior of the building, get in that stairwell and go to the very bottom. And that would be likely the safest place for you in an apartment building. Rich, does that jive with your thoughts?
100% correct.
Nathan just has a question about how bad are we thinking tomorrow? And it's really hard to say. The weather, it can only be forecasted. Our National Weather Service forecasting folks do their best job at trying to give us a picture of what it could look like, but ultimately, we'll just have to see. But here is what their forecast is. Have it displayed for you. We're in a level 3 out of a 5 scale for severe weather tomorrow with that enhanced risk. But when the March 3rd, 2020 tornado came through, Rich, I don't think we were even in a slight risk during that. I think it was, if anything, it was general or marginal, right?
Correct.
When that tornado came through. So it wasn't as high, but the weather does weird things. And again, they try to do their best. And that's why it's always important. Here's the message that we are expecting severe weather tomorrow. It's going to be somewhere around this area, but it's hard to predict exactly when and where and exactly what city and what street and what city that severe weather is going to hit. So it's always good to have a plan in place regardless and have a way to get those warnings. Like Rich went over, those multiple different options to get good weather warnings. Should something spin up, you can begin to get those alerts to take measures to keep yourself safe. Question about timing here. Timing for our area is 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. So afternoon, evening-ish for us. There you go on the timing question. All right. But if you have something, type it in the comments wherever you're at, whether YouTube, Twitter, or Facebook, and we can get to those for you. But just know that Rich and I, we're working tomorrow. Our staff is working tomorrow. We'll be watching this as it just continues to move across Tennessee to see if we need to ramp up our staff levels or have certain plans start kicking in place. We do have a plan here. Should we see the forecast, we'll get the update from the Weather Service on a conference call tomorrow morning and then gauge and see what we need to do. We have court tomorrow evening, but we're not going to make a decision to cancel court until tomorrow after we hear from the Weather Service again with their latest and greatest forecast, with the latest and greatest model data to try to give us an idea. And as a police department, if we need to bring more staff in or hold staff over, we have plans in place to make that happen. And of course, readying our vehicles, our different response vehicles that we can use to get into damaged areas, those will be ready to go. One thing from the different tornadoes that we've had lately, it's allowed us to become more and more prepared if it does happen. And that's why our plans are pretty solid, where we go to other communities and speak on our response to natural disasters. And most recently, myself and Deputy Chief Mullins was at the Tennessee Association of Chiefs of Police training conference last month, speaking on our response during the tornado and just some things other agencies can put in place that would help them should they have a natural disaster strike their community. All right. I don't see any other questions, but folks, we are here for you. We care about you. If there's anything you need, please reach out to us. Just call our number. Rich, anything else from you?
Folks, just remember to be weather aware, and like Captain said, we're not at all trying to get your anxiety up. We're just doing this to make you more aware. You know, just keep your eyes to the sky and keep your eyes on the TV and listen to whatever we put out or what the Weather Service puts out. We're here to help.
Absolutely. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful night, and we will all see you soon.